There we go. Sorel, we'll start with you.
Hi, Karina. Thank you for creating this forum. And Giovanni, thank you for being on and sharing with us. This question's burning, right? Given what you just created, if you were speaking directly to our president, or perhaps the governor of the state of Georgia, what coaching would you give them?
That's a very big question, Sorel, and you couldn't start with something. And let's just make it a little controversial too. Let's bring Trump into the conversation.
You know, Giovanni, who you are for me is, you know,
it's like that.
And I asked the question with this kind of humility: what you're about to say will transform the course of what's happening in the world.
Yeah, Sorel, thank you for the opportunity of bringing that on, right? It's a very mouthful, Sorel. I'm going to address it right on point, and I don't want to just say anything, right? Sorel, if I had the opportunity to talk to the governor of Georgia, right? There is discovering first, or even Donald Trump, if that opportunity happens, right? There is discovering what is that person committed to first. I need to discover that, right? Because I don't want to come from a reaction like, oh, this is what you should do based on what I think you should do, right? I need to discover what is their ultimate commitment. What's that big commitment, right? And I would get everything out of their head, everything. Well, I'm committed to this, I'm committed to this, I'm committed to this, I'm committed to that, until that person no longer had noise in their head about defending who they are, but actually their commitments outside of their head. Having said that, right, once that really hard work happens, then we will look at, well, what is the best way that you can get a team around it on that commitment, not on defending a point of view, right? Because there's a difference between defending a point of view and what I'm committed to. And that, if people can separate that, like if the governor could separate that, if actually the president could separate that, if they could separate the commitment that they have and the point of view they're defending, all of a sudden there is a kind of clarity in actually unifying people. There's a kind of clarity in how to create a strategy for implementation that's not available when I'm really trying to defend my point of view. Does that make sense, Sorel?
Yeah, that makes sense. And so if I may take words out of your mouth and put them in my mouth, you know, I could say to the governor of Georgia, there's no need to defend your point of view. Your commitment gets clouded by that.
Yes, absolutely. That's beautiful how you said it. The hard work around that, Sorel, and for all of us on the call, is that my point of view is clouded. My commitments are not just clouded from my point of view, but they're also clouded by the emotions I have around my point of view. And so usually people are constantly, right? You and I are always reacting on the emotions I have around my point of view. So when I work with someone who's committed up to something, I get them to have a clarity about their commitment and an easiness, you know, a kind of like freedom around their emotions, around their point of view. And when that happens, people do unbelievable things, incredible things for a greater good. And so that would spark the conversation, and that would spark teams and leadership and effective leadership that includes people, you know?